It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Tuesday, December 26th. Hope everyone had a nice holiday weekend. We're continuing our free preview of the VIP pre-market prep. And today, I'm told from our streaming software here that we're able to see comments on X. So if you're doing this through X, we can see your comments and we can even post it on the screen. So we'll try to make this show more interactive than usual, right? At the start of the show, you can go ahead and put your comments in, what stocks you want me to look at. If I have time, I'll get to it at the end. And then at the end, I'd like to hear from everyone. Which one of the picks we're proposing to you today do you like the best? So it is, January effect, Santa rally time, however you like to think of that. I'm more a believer in the January effect than the Santa rally itself. Santa rally is basically starting today into the first 2 days of the year. I'm a big fan of the January effect, which is the beaten down stocks of 2023. They usually do really well starting Christmas Eve day, which was yesterday. Market was closed, so you could say it started Friday or it could start today and run into most of the month of January. This is when you can see beaten up stocks from 2023 be up 20, 30, 40, 50%. So I'm keen to look at things like that. Also, we know I've been very bullish small caps IWM since the FOMC decision. So let's start there. We'll look at the major indices and see what our signals are for the early morning. Right now, you can see IWM up 0.4%. I want to be a little cautious about SPY and QQQ, especially into we'll look at the chart. I'm going to look at the IWM chart in a second, but SPY and QQQ, let's be cautious going into January 2nd. I've seen this movie before. I know everyone's excited about Santa rally going into January, but I've seen before a massive, almost like a flash crash in the opening minutes of January 2nd. And that comes from folks who want to defer taxes, right? They have their winners. Maybe they're getting heated. Maybe they're getting too expensive right now in end of December, but they don't want to pay taxes in year 2023. So they're going to hold on to the stock to the first moment of January 2nd, 2024 and sell there. So be cognizant of that possibility. It doesn't always have to happen, but I've seen it and it can be pretty violent. All right. And I think the setup of the stock action with the really impressive performance since FOMC lends itself to that possibility more so than in the past. Looking at IWM, probably, out of the big indices, NASDAQ, S&P 500, and IWM, I continue to like IWM the best because of the lower interest rates and what that's going to do for the small caps. Look at this. Obviously, you can see this breakout now. Okay, 197 is your support level. We're at 202 right now, 202.37. So IWM, and I got a target of about 206.37 or so. Let me just double check that candle. 206.56. Okay, so 197, then 206.56. I think that's the range we're playing in. I don't know exact timeline. Does that happen this week? Does it happen sometime in January? I'm not sure, but this is an 18-month triple top we broke out of on IWM. So things are looking still bullish over there. Now let's move into individual picks for the day, including gold. Actually, let's talk about gold and USO. So gold, we're looking at the potential of getting a new 52-week high on Friday. That didn't happen. Okay, but we have another chance this morning. Strong pre-market action this morning. Let's move into the 1-year chart. So 192.40, that's the level to beat. We're near 191 this morning. If you look at a longer term chart, the max chart, there you go. You can see this. This is really poised to break out of that 194.45 and explode past 200. I really believe that's going to happen sooner rather than later, maybe in early 2024. I lost my chart there where it happens. What's going on? There it is. That's beautiful, right? You see that? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it's testing this. Eventually it's going to break out. Got some higher lows here in the last couple of weeks as well. So this is looking really good in a lower interest rate environment. Gold is going to do well. All right. Oil, I got a little bit of a bet still in oil because of what's going on with the war and in the Red Sea. This morning here, we're above the 50-day moving average at $70.20. Above that 50 DMA. Let's see if we can break that, then hold that 50-day moving average. You're going to have a target of 74.48 on USO. So gold, USO, IWM in play. Bitcoin did not do what I thought it could do over the weekend. I was hoping for a breakout of $45,000 and it didn't happen. Let's take a look at the daily. So now it's playing with that 20 DMA. See, it's had a few wicks below it, and we're in that wick right now. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, met like about 6 interactions with that 20 DMA since mid-November, and they all ended up being good buying opportunities. So nothing's a guarantee. Is this a good buying opportunity, or is this the precipice of a move down to the 50 DMA? I really can't tell you that, but here also there's support at 40,191. But if you're a Bitcoin bull, then now could be a good time to pick some up at that 20 DMA. Probably not going to be a top focus for me today. I really think IWM, gold, and USO are poised to do a little bit better. Now to individual stocks. Let me just check here if we have. Oh, I forgot to open Rumble. 1 second. All right. So I see a bunch of people watching on Rumble. So if you have comments, you can throw it in the Rumble chat as well. All right. So let's move into some individual stocks now. So if you've been watching your show, you know we've been highlighting all of these ones I'm showing you this morning are going to be repeats here today. BLNK, NIO, and we have a new multiple catalyst on NIO. Energy Fuels, new catalyst on Intel. We'll talk about. Okay, Chewy, Carvana. All right, let's talk about before I talk about the new catalyst, BLNK, which the Citadel was the catalyst to get this on our show the other week, plus the break of the 20 DMA. This thing had a really, really strong Friday. Let me see if I can zoom in. We can take a look at that. There you go. That Friday move, you could see it there. Friday afternoon into after hours, it just exploded. It's above a key resistance level right now, which is, well, it is 380 around. 371, 380. It's 371. So 371, a little bit of resistance at 380, but really above 371. These are the initial targets we gave you when the Citadel news came out. It's 466 and the 200 DMA, and I'm sticking with those, okay? 466, 526. Now you get the added benefit of now we are in the thick of the January effect, okay? This is when it starts full swing, that January effect. RSI is not back over 70 yet, so this has got room. So valuation, at least from a price to sales ratio, looks good. All right. That's may not last if they don't flip to profitability in time before having to do any kind of dilutive raises. But for the moment, this is looking really attractive at multi-year lows on the price to sales ratio. This whole sector is EV charging. Plus, you get the Citadel catalyst. Plus, you get the sentiment of the January effect. So 466 through the 200 DMA. That continues to be a top swing idea for us here at Story Trading. That's BLNK. All right, NIO we had on the show because of the investment. I think it was a $2 billion investment from a firm in Abu Dhabi. Had that big move to 890, then pulled back. Now it's back in the news because over the weekend there was some investor day event where they revealed a new vehicle, and then Bank of America came in, I believe yesterday or early this morning, and set an $11 price target. So NIO is in play, 890 levels, and then you're into the gap. So 819, 917, and then the gap fill right here at 1022. Okay. So NIO in play on multiple catalysts. And I would also classify this as a candidate for the January effect because you probably have tax loss selling here. Oh, probably not as pronounced as BLNK. You can see this, not as pronounced as BLNK, but I'm sure most people looking at this chart, most people are probably underwater on NIO, and you may have had some tax loss selling in the last few weeks. Okay. BLNK, NIO, Energy Fuels. Really, I was surprised we didn't get a big move. This is on watch for maybe a delayed fuse on this. Oh, you can see that move, but I thought it would be bigger, right? This is the news we covered on the show here the other morning where they're opening up additional mines for massive increase in uranium production. It's been a laggard in the uranium sector. It's got to do some catch up. The revenues should increase significantly because of these changes. There is some risk here in terms of do they need to raise money to open all these new mines? Okay, so I don't know the answer to that. I think they have about 3 or 4 quarters of cash when I looked, but I don't know how much it's going to cost to open up these mines. So there's a possibility they'll have to raise some money. But that was pretty big news. And let's see, are we over the 50 DMA? 50 DMA, it's battling it right now. It's 778. If we can close over 778, then I got an 868 price target for you right there. You can see it. Webull points it out for you. The proximal high, after you break all these key moving averages, I want to go to the recent proximal high. 868 will be the next. You like how we do technical analysis here? A little bit different than a lot of technical experts. This works really well for me. Looking at the key moving averages, looking at prior supports, prior resistance, and then just candle analysis rather than drawing our own lines, okay? So those are the levels to watch there. Looking for a delayed explosion. Well, I don't want to say delayed. It had to move. I just expected more out of it. Let's see if we can get a secondary large move on No specific catalyst today, however. Intel, however, has been on our show several times over the last several months with multiple catalysts incoming. This morning, another catalyst. Israel gives Intel a $3.2 billion grant for a $25 billion Israel chip plant. Now, apparently, this was already disclosed by Israel, at least that the fact that Intel's building this plant. I'm not sure about the $3.2 billion grant. This was disclosed, I think, in the summer or something. But Intel came out this morning and they affirmed that, yes, this is real. We're also getting a $3.2 billion subsidy here. And we've already been building this, all right? So they gave an update on the construction. So Intel, this has been one of my favorite from a long-term perspective because, well, now it's really made a move. We flagged this down below 30 as a comeback kid kind of story because it was really, really underperforming the semiconductor sector, and it had a lot of catalysts come in the last several quarters. So here's yet another catalyst. So, there's some juice here left maybe into this January effect and the catalyst we have this morning to 49. You can see 49.73 right there. See that candle? 49.73, then 52.90. There's Vince with Intel, 49.73, 52.90. And that's about it for now. RSI below 70. So this has some juice here this week. One of the ones I'd be careful about for a potential sell-off in the beginning of January for those trying to defer taxes has had a really good run as of late. Okay. Then keep your eye on things like Chewy and Carvana, especially if IWM and ARC have good days. It's just going to lift things like Chewy and Carvana. No specific catalyst today. Chewy had looked really well, then it didn't have the day I wanted on Friday. But so 25.24, we got to break out at 25.24. Then we get into this gap. All the targets remain the same. You can see the gap levels there. What's this here? 25.16. And then the day before, it was like 27.33. And then you got the 200 DMA over there as well at 28.52. All of these are in play, but no specific catalyst today. So that's not going to be at the top of the list. Okay. And then we have Carvana as well. It's about this level that it has to hold. I think it's like 55.50 or so. Let's just check here. 56.80. It's roughly the mid 50s. I thought it was a 55 that I pointed out earlier, or 57. You can see that double top that it broke out of. So let's see here. It broke a little bit down below. What's this candle here? Top of this candle, 54.35. So Carvana, I still continue to like this for, wow, look at this. This weekly chart is absolutely brilliant on Carvana. Oh my gosh, so juicy. 57.58. Man, I've been talking about an $100 price target on Carvana in 2024. I really think that's very possible. So keep Carvana on your list. No specific catalyst today, though, but a $100 price target that I have in 2024. All right. So let's see. Got a nice little audience here. Let's see. Any comments? Is the time to put it in. Now let's try to order this. I'm going to spend the next few minutes trying to order my top picks for the day, maybe a top 5. And I want to hear from you in the audience. Which one of these top picks you like the best? So I'm not an indice guy. I know some of you love trading indices. They're really good with options. When I'm choosing a top 5, I'm choosing particular stock. So IWM, gold, USO, they might do great. Bitcoin, might be good at the 20 DMA here, but I like to move into these individual stocks for the most part. All right. So unless there's an exceptional circumstance, but I got to put BLNK and NIO up there. I got to put Intel because these NIO and Intel have a catalyst that just occurred. UUU, again, a huge catalyst last week. I think the initial reaction was underdone. So let's see if we can get a secondary explosion. And let's see what this looks like right now. So Intel, UUU. Whoa, no, that's not the order. There it is. BLNK. All right. BLNK, I really look, this is extended. I'm not saying to buy it now up 5%. We're in this at like 320 or something. This is a swing for me. So when I say BLNK number 1, yeah, it could explode today, but this could be a swing. This could take a few more days to develop, maybe even a couple weeks. But this is actually my largest holding right now. So looking for 466 to 5+. That's going to be the number 1 pick here. I think it's a perfect storm aligned for stocks like this, beating up 2023 stocks, 241 million market cap. These tend to do really good in this time period. So BLNK, again, NIO, I gave you the targets on that. I'm not sure. I think I may have a tiny position in NIO. I don't think I'm going to jump on it on this news, but I may look for pullbacks. And Intel, Again, we gave you the catalyst on that and the targets. Oh man, my buddy's been doing really good trading IWM call options. So, I don't know, 207 target. I guess that's in play somewhere if you're good at that. So leave that in the top 5. All right. And we got gold and USO. USO. Wow, this is great. I don't have a ton, but I have a few call options on USO. We're breaking out here, aren't we? 70.51. What was the high over here? 70.30. We're breaking up above. By the way, I have to mention there was some regional tensions in Iraq. A U.S. base was attacked by Hezbollah in Iraq, I believe it was, or by someone backed by Iran. And there were 3 U.S. service members who were hurt, one critically injured. U.S. responded by attacking a Hezbollah base in Iraq. So this is, I think, the first time we're hearing of any serious injuries from all the Iranian-backed militias that are targeting U.S. bases throughout the region. So that's an escalatory thing that's happening. Also, the Houthis are really escalating out in Yemen, trying to send 20,000 soldiers across the desert somehow through Egypt. I don't know how they're going to get there to Gaza. And then you have what's going on in the Red Sea with the Houthis as well. So this may be the reason why you see oil up almost 3% in pre-market here. Glad to have a little bit of exposure. Obviously, now that I see it up 3%, I wish I had more. All right. But you know what? Maybe because of the strong pre-market action, we got to move oil up in the watch list. So let's move oil up here. Yeah. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a 6. Today, we'll leave gold outside the top 6. I like it, but I don't have a specific catalyst for gold. We have catalyst for USO. We kind of had a catalyst for IWM, and we have catalyst for NIO and Intel. BLNK, I don't have a catalyst today, but the setup is just crazy. So BLNK, NIO, Intel, oil, IWM, UU, and then gold just below that. Bitcoin, if you love Bitcoin, you can pick it up to 20 DMA over here. And we're watching Chewy and Carvana. All right. So those are going to be the top picks for today. Let's see if our crystal ball works. It works very, very often. If you want to be part of our community, just head on over to storytrading.com/app. You get access to a chat room as well. Plus this show every single morning forever. We're just doing a free preview this week, and it'll be over by the end of this week. So if you want to have this every single morning, you got to join us. There's a free trial there as well. It's storytrading.com/app. Install the app. And then again, you get access to that free chat room. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you later. Take care.